Up, Earth Angels. You can't be contained. Most people spend all of our lives trying to shrink to fit ourselves into spaces that are too small for us. Clothing, physical environments, mindsets. We're taught to shrink and fit into those. And for you at least, it feels bad. It feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. It feels, exhausting. It feels uncomfortable. It feels limiting. It feels uh, restrictive. And it feels distracting. Okay. And it feels that way because you're not here to be contained. You're here to be fully expressed in an overflowing abundance. Mm. Yeah, you're here to be fully expressed in abundant overflow. So let me show you how to create your heaven on earth. Ooh, free yourself and create your heaven on earth. Okay, let me introduce myself first. I am a transformation specialist. What am I saying now? Oh, I'm a transformation specialist, sovereignty coach, and ex lawyer, and I help powerful, visionary, highly successful women and cycle breakers unleash their true selves, walk in purpose as divine disruptors, and create the life of their dreams. Okay, so, okay, yeah. So I am someone who I can't stand overly restrictive environments. Am I working? Okay, great. I'm sorry. I heard Billy. I was like, oh, is it not working? Okay. I am repelled by overly restrictive environments. Anything that is overly restrictive. Okay. So clothing, ugh, man, I love the look of waist beads. I don't know if you've ever seen those. And I've gotten a bunch of them in my time. Every single waist beads I've gotten, it lasts me maybe 2 months before I Incredible Hulk out of them and the beads go flying all over a bathroom or something. And I'm like, shit, I wasted all that money and like that it's huge and I feel crazy. But listen, my body does not want to be contained, even by a beautiful, waist bead. My body is still like, I need to be free, and I like crack out of it. I have waist beads like in the bathrooms of many airports and public spaces because I forget I'm wearing it and I just like rip out of it. Beads everywhere. So when you're wearing too small clothing, when the clothing you're wearing is too restrictive, you can feel it. It's easy. The clothing will explode around you. It will be really difficult to move, really uncomfortable, and it's easy to get rid of. All right, overly restrictive clothing. Um, so yeah, maybe waist beads aren't for me, unfortunately. But also, there are overly restrictive environments, and those are a little bit harder to assess and realize like, oh, this is too small for me. But overly restrictive environments are ones where you feel like who you are fully expressed is unacceptable. And when you do try to like be yourself, say what you feel, do act as you want to, the people around you are like, ugh, or like they threaten to punish you, or they're like, um, and so you feel bad. You feel like, okay, they're gonna hate this. Let me be small. And when I was with my first husband, my ex-husband, a super restrictive environment for me. And when I was with him, I was depressed all the time. I couldn't think clearly. I thought I was lactose intolerant. My stomach hurt all the time. So I couldn't even enjoy the things that I used to enjoy, ice cream, cheese, because I was in an overly restrictive environment. I couldn't experience life fully. I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't breathe. You might be also around, it might not just be a partner or a workplace. It might be a friend group or a family group. And, there might not be anything like horribly wrong with these people, but when you're around them, You know you have to be small. The things you want to talk about, they don't get, they don't care about, they roll their eyes when they hear you talking about it. So you learn to, okay, never mind, I can't do it. And you keep it to yourself. You feel crazy because you want to talk about it and you're confused why no one else does. But, you might feel, like you're supposed to just go along with it, settle, be what other people want you to be. But nope, you're here to break out. You're here to cut it off. You're here to get out of there. You're here to detach from these too small environments. And so, even harder to realize it's too small for you than clothing or a physical environment are mindsets. Mindsets? No. Mindsets. Concepts. Identities. So, you might have told yourself a story that you're like, oh, I don't, I don't like to like have a lot of attention on me. I don't want people to think I'm thirsty for attention or I'm, trying to get attention or, I don't want people to like, I don't want to express anger. I'm not an angry person, so I don't want people to perceive me as angry. That's actually keeping you small, babe. People are going to perceive you however they're going to perceive you. But you can't limit yourself by these old identities, these old ways of going about the world. Maybe even the mindset is something like, oh, I can't, like, what would I do if I wasn't drinking? Drinking alcohol. Everyone around me drinks alcohol. We drink it, everything. And it's totally not a big deal. Okay, then stop doing it if it's not a big deal. But if it is a bigger deal than you're maybe willing to admit, maybe it is a little bit overly restrictive. Maybe you can't fully express. Maybe you don't feel fully safe being yourself without this thing. Mm. So yeah, I learned about the concept recently of meeting your edge. And it's when we get to our comfort zone, the edge of our comfort zone of where we feel safe, we stop and we retreat. And we do what's familiar, which is to like keep ourselves small, not say it, assume we can't do it, and contain ourselves. Even the idea, too, I think a lot of people maybe struggle with expressing joy or pleasure or like that they're having fun, that they're having a good time. Like something funny happens and they're about to laugh out loud and then they're like, oh, or you get some good news, your boss gives you a promotion, someone gives you an opportunity, and you're like, oh, I don't want to seem too excited. Why? Why do you want to contain your joy, babe? You're here to be fully expressed, okay? So, yeah, and also overly restrictive, along with like the idea, identities are these overly restrictive stories about yourself, about who you are, about what people who look like you, who sound like you, can do, how powerful they are. That's a story, and that's an overly restrictive one that prevents you from moving freely and powerfully like you're here to do. But here's the truth: you are not here to be contained. In fact, you are the container. That's why you're so bad at being contained. That's why rules, restrictions, like social pressure, it doesn't feel right to you. It doesn't contain you. You are expansive. You are here to be fully expressed. You are here to be the container, not the contained. Yeah, I love this analogy. You are as big as the trees, your energy, your outlook, your power, huge as the trees. But most people are going to want to ask you to like make yourself smaller. The rest of us are just little people sized and we've got our people things. And so come down to meet us. And you might have learned that, okay, to feel safe, I have to shrink and come down to a size that other people feel comfortable around. Babe, if you're as big as the trees, just be as big as the trees. Trees are huge. They think of all the ecosystems that are contained within a tree. You've got fungi, you got birds, you got insects, you got squirrels and stuff. That's not to mention what humans or other animals might want to use the trees for. And still, the tree is existing for itself, generously containing all of these other things, receiving the benefit of all of these things, and also just being fully expressed. Okay? So the tree does not waste their energy shrinking to make someone else uncomfortable. Maybe the homeowner across the street sees the tree and they're like, oh, it's blocking my view of like the sky. Get smaller, tree. Like people do that. They will hack down a beautiful, powerful tree just so they can, like, I don't know, see a little bit more of the sky in that direction. Crazy. Ridiculous. What a tragedy for the tree. But without external intervention, the tree is not shrinking for anybody. The tree, even if it is somehow like the top that's above the earth, seems like it stops growing. Beneath the earth, it keeps going. It keeps expanding. It finds a way. It's expansive. It is not limited just by what everyone else can see or what everyone else can think to harness the tree for. So, my beautiful, powerful tree of life, don't waste your energy shrinking for others. You know how exhausting that is. You know when you get home from a job where you had to pretend and keep your mouth shut and like, oh, roll your eyes as like people like were telling you to do stuff you didn't want to do. And so you just go and you keep yourself. By the time you get home, you're exhausted. You want to take off all your clothes. You don't want to hear anybody tell you nothing. And you just want to do whatever you want to do. It's because you're not here to be contained. So what you are here for is to be the container, is to be the expansive, fully expressed, magical, powerful, divine being that you are. And so what you need is you need space, room to do your thing, to grow, to expand. That's what you need. You don't need more structure, more routine to fit inside of. You need more room. You need tools, resources, people, space to be expansive, to be in your fullness, in your power. And so you need space to do your thing, and you need to increase your capacity to hold things. You need to increase your capacity to hold and receive the abundance that you are here to contain. Oh, it's powerful, babe. And I know you struggle to receive. I know you're used to being like, no, I'm the tree. I have to give shade. I have to give fruit. I have to give shelter. Babe, you are here to receive. You've given enough. We thank the tree for its service, but now it's here to receive nourishment. It's here to receive and, increase its capacity to hold. I was thinking about the wind, like each time the wind blows against the tree, it gets stronger in the direction that the wind is blowing. So now the tree is more able to contain, withstand the weather because they have been stretched. Their capacity to hold the physical reality has increased. And so that's what you need, the space to grow and expand and to increase your capacity to hold and receive. So, when you first get new running shoes and you put them on, you have to move around in them. You have to stretch it out. You have to break them in. You have to increase the shoe's capacity to do what it's supposed to do, which is contain you and help you, run and move about the world. And if you don't give it the opportunity to stretch and, get broken in and expand its capacity to hold the foot, then it causes injury. It causes pain and blisters. It prevents you from walking straight. It messes up your gait. The shoe is supposed to be there to help you move forward, but instead it's making it more painful. It's restricting you. So if the environment isn't capable of holding you, of supporting you, because it hasn't been stretched, it's too rigid, it's too tight, you can't really use it, babe. And so all of the challenges that you have been facing, the times you felt the restriction, the time you've met the edge of your comfort zone and you stuck your toe outside of it, you put your hand outside of the comfort zone, you stretched a little bit. If you've ever started stretching after not stretching for years, stretching is painful. But after a while, stretching feels so good and it's a relief. And you get stronger and more able to move once you've stretched. You've increased your capacity to receive, to hold. So all of the challenges you're feeling, the discomfort, that has been to stretch you and to increase your capacity to hold more. You're here to be expansive and to be in overflow and to hold great abundance, wealth, wisdom, power. And you're out here afraid to receive. You might have told yourself it's unsafe to receive. The pain of the discomfort of the initial receiving has scared you from expanding anymore. You've met the edge of your comfort zone, babe. But listen, you're here to be expansive. These waist beads, you're going to break out of them. There's going to be beads everywhere, okay? And yes, that's annoying, but it's for your growth, babe. It's just telling you oh, okay, I've grown. I've expanded. I've increased my capacity to hold more of what is. And that's just beautiful. Wow, I love that. Okay. I've delivered the message, guys. Let me make sure. I've done it. I've delivered the message. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to my website, See Like Sheba, if you'd like to work one-on-one with me. And go back and watch some of my episodes, babe, and you can learn how you too can become a woman who goes from easily receiving $5,000 every month to effortlessly receiving $100,000 every single month. And it's because I acknowledge I can't be contained, babe. Neither can you. And I'm here to receive. And so are you. All right, my darlings. Talk to you, Earth Angels, tomorrow. Love you so much. Oh my gosh, she's at my door. Okay, we'll have to see. Yeah. All right. Talk to you, Earth Angels, later. Love you. Bye.